So this here is Daisy, and Daisy is an artificial cow. And what we do here at the Ag Education Center is, Aaron is showing you right now, we have live demonstrations for kids to actually get a chance to milk a cow. So this is probably the best way of kind of explaining how they used to do milking. No one milks like this anymore, and that's something that we make sure every kid understands and learns about, is the fact that this is not how it's done anymore. In fact, most milking, about 85-90% of milking is actually done with a machine now. And so it's really important that we drive that educational aspect home so these kids understand that. We also have plenty more dairy facts and experiences that they can all look and see here, different facts and fun stuff. And over here, we try to ask kids what is made of dairy, and they find out half their fridge has dairy in it. And a lot of kids don't realize that milk produces all of these amazing products. And most kids surprisingly think that chocolate milk comes from a brown cow. So we're trying to fix that problem. Of course, over here, which is really exciting, you're gonna have to get really in there and zoom in on this, but we have live bees. And it's really, really cool. We have a lot of great volunteers, but Jonathan Garris, who is the bee expert here at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds, he is here almost every single day, donates his time to teach kids about the importance of bees, honey, pollination, and all things that have to do with bees. And a lot of people don't realize this, but North Dakota is the #1 producer of honey. And so what's really cool is we get to spin it around. You can see all the bees, and kids love learning about everything there is to do about bees. Over here, we also have our swine things. Everything swine, anything that has to do with hogs, hog production. NDSU is generous enough, they come out all the time during our field trips, and they have somebody here to kind of explain. We have pictures, we have all kinds of things to explain how swine production is done and how important it is for ag. And also over here we have an example of a fairing crate as well, and that's always good to show kids how we do it and how important fairing crates are to keep the piglets safe. Over here, which is really, really cool, we have our sugar beet display. Everything sugar, right? So sugar beets predominantly are grown in North Dakota and Minnesota, and we're really excited to have that because most kids don't realize where sugar comes from. Obviously there's sugar cane, but sugar beets are definitely our cash crop in this area when it comes to kind of a specialty crop. And so we try to teach kids with stuff they're familiar with, whether it's marshmallows, chocolate bars. Sometimes we'll get a bunch of chocolate bars donated, and kids really learn when there's chocolate bars involved. So we're really excited about that. And of course, the gigantic sugar beet, that was really cool this year. It was a new exhibit. And our friends at American Crystal Sugar donated this, and it's really, really cool because kids, I mean, of course, the largest sugar beet in the world, kids tend to gravitate towards something large like this, and we can kind of explain the process. There's 4 sides to this. There's actually really cool content here where kids can pick something and ask a question, and then the kids race to get the question right, whether or not they can figure it out or not. Of course, I'm good at guessing, so that's a first. And then over here, it shows the process of how sugar beets are made, which is really cool because most things aren't explained this well. So I really enjoy this because you see these gigantic sugar beet parlors, you have no idea. It looks like a bunch of potatoes or a dirt mound, but it shows you the entire process, how it gets down to that refined sugar. Over here, we have our friends at the Soybean Council. They have a really, really great display. They support us endlessly, and you can kind of see what my favorite one is. This right here, it shows you the start to finish process of a soybean. So from a seed all the way up to the finished product. And kids always ask, why is it brown? Why is it dried up? And it's a great question. It looks like it's dead. That's how we harvest it. It's a certain moisture content, and it's finished. What's really cool about this is kids get to actually see what the root system looks like. If you pull one of those up, one of these plants up, you can actually see it's identical to that. And they did a really great job with this. Great example for kids. We can have any kid in here anytime and they get to see this, and they're fake. Everybody always thinks they're real. And if you look up, you'll see that we have insulation. I'll show you over here. Soybean-based insulation. This entire building has soybeans in the ceiling, which is keeping the heat in and the cool in. And this is a nice little display to kind of show kids that is made of soybeans. And another great example of what we do here. The corn display, the corn exhibit. We like to have our friends here at the North Dakota-grown Council. They donated all this, and they did a great job. Great facts. It tells you all about ethanol, about corn. People don't realize that You need corn, believe it or not, to make fireworks. Random things, a lot of things that people don't know about. A lot of fun facts that we have everywhere. We have all the parts of corn. We actually have this really unique thing where kids, again, we assume that just because they live in North Dakota, they know what a row of corn looks like, and maybe they don't. And so the kids come here and they stare, and it's like we try to give them, this is a great example of like what rows of corn look like. And it's just been really, really awesome to see the faces of these kids light up. Bunch of different questions that we sit here and we ask the kids. They get to go through it. It's really, really cool. And then when we're done talking about all of the things agriculture, we go over here to our Jeopardy. And this is where the kids really shine. We get to ask them all the questions that we already went over, and then we get to test them, and they really love showing off to their friends what knowledge they have. So we have a really fun game. One of our board members made this, and it's really, really great. Kids love it, and it just gets their juices flowing.